The drum wasn't played in South Carolina since 1741 when it was outlawed. It wasn't played again until 1970s when Oyotunji was founded. And so could you imagine the spirits who stay in these forests heard the drum for the first time in almost 200 years and woke up? That's why Oyotunji is still here. The FBI didn't take it yet. You have to say, yeah, it's America. It's America. No amount of effort is too small. And so it is our own ship. We have to man it. We need people at the bow and the stern so that every time we pull into port, we're in ship shape.
Try to remain calm, and everybody, please, keep iwapele.
A close-knit low-country community is dealing with the loss of their leader as a woman is arrested for murder. The crime happened at the Oyotunji African village off of Bryant Lane in Beaufort County around 2:45 yesterday afternoon.
Hey y'all, this is Rimmel again. We want to celebrate the life of Oba Adefumi II. Before we talk about the recent events and what the kingdom will do moving forward, we need to talk about what has been done, who he is, and what the kingdom is, and what it means to people, what it does. Ashe? Chokma?
And while I was in Canada, I got to drive. It was impressive. I got to drive through the Indian neighborhood. The first thing I noticed as I drove through was the smell of food. The second thing I noticed was that there was businesses. On both sides of the street, maybe the community is 2 miles long, drive through, before it changes to another community. The third thing I noticed after the food, the businesses, I noticed clothing. The asha, like what you're wearing today. Very beautiful stuff, by the way. The women are absolutely stunning.
Everybody to also notice how family-oriented the community is. Just look at that. The king is making a speech. It's not all pomp and circumstance. It's a family setting. Children are free to roam about and entertain themselves and learn things and interact with objects and articles and knowledge. The children are growing as he speaks. They are in the middle of their lessons. They are doing other things, and the adults are talking, and the children are free to move about their world. How beautiful is that? Let's get right back to it, though.
It was absolutely stunning. And so, in that Indian community, you saw the ladies shopping, hand in hand. And they have a similar dress to African people. Very flowing, very nice, beautiful material, laces and brocades and batiks. And then the other thing I noticed was they had a bar where all of the men primarily were standing out talking loud. They were sitting out there, they were drinking and watching the sports on the television. They wasn't watching the NFL, they were watching cricket. They even had their own stuff that they like to watch on their screen. And football, they had that all up there. And as you go further in the community, it then changed a little bit. The scenery changed from business to more like, well, do you want to grab your bag or, lock your door? And you had the guys standing with their car doors open, drinking beer, talking loud. You see people, loud music is playing out there. But one thing I noticed was it was the same thing again. Clothing, food, and entertainment. And so this entire community is what our African black community should be in North America. And we had them.
Ashe. Let's get into this next clip.
But as Baba said, African Americans had to fight constantly, and we lost many of them due to jealousy from Europeans who would just come in and just destroy it, like in, quite namely, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so we have to get those back. We have to have those places where when we come, or people come to our world, they experience our culture. Businesses, clothing, entertainment, lodging, hospitality. Because these are the things. When I walked in there, I wasn't interested in no religion. I could care less what these people believed in. I knew whatever they believed in, it was working. It was really working. Because they believed in themselves, their own culture, their own people, their own gods, goddesses, whatever they believe in, Brahmarata, Hindu, Vishnu, Shiva. I don't care. I experienced the food, the family, the energy of these people. And this is what people have to experience when they come to our towns. But we don't have any towns. So we have to build them. We have to create them. Oyotunji is just but one. We have people who own different parts of cities and communities around the state, around the country. They should be informed on this knowledge. Because we have many black leaders, but it's difficult to be a black leader without knowing the culture of the people you're trying to lead. And so knowing African culture, we know African people need schools. We need industry. We need clothing. We need operative businesses. Because everything you see here was built by people just like you. It wasn't me. It wasn't him. It wasn't her or him over there. It was a lot of people. Some people just put one nail. And they get credit for that. Because without that one nail, it would not be to where it is. Some people took one stroke of a paintbrush. And so this is what I'm saying. No amount of effort is too small when you're on a ship like this. No amount of effort is too small. And so it is our own ship. We have to man it. We need people at the bow and the stern so that every time we pull into port, we're in ship shape.
So you see, it's all about the future. It's all about the children, all about the development of the community. And that's what we're about here at the African Village of Return as well. You know, we are making moves, doing things, and interacting with folks, networking every chance we get with people to make differences, to build the future, right? That's what it's all about. So as everybody's talking about the recent events and the stabbing and all that stuff and how the news is reacting, the king has gone to the upper room, he has gone to the roof, yet the kingdom persists. We'll see what happens. We'll see how everybody works it out, but we also need to remember to rally around the kingdom. Rally around the kingdom in this time so that they can feel the love that is the African diaspora, that is the Yoruba, Ifa, Isese diaspora. Isese Lagba.
And so we ask you to continue to support Oyotunji. And this was a monumental occasion. Because this is how it is done. As the Baba student said, you have to do the spiritual first. This is spiritual. Yeah, it's spiritual too. We do not have no rattles and shakers and, you know, the stuff you're used to seeing in the spirit room. But this is spiritual. Because this is custom. Custom and tradition is spiritual. That's religion too. So the fact that your egbe, your society, your group came to Oyotunji, came before the ancestors, before the Orisha, the deities, the energy of Africa, and before the elders and the Kábíyèsí, and stated your objective. That's powerful. That's very powerful. For the spirits that inhabit these trees. How your ancestors walked this property right here from Africa. They worked in the rice plantation just beyond the trees over there. Okay? And so those ancestors hear that. We're represented from all parts of, you know, I heard Alafia, I heard Keduke, I heard Jajifate, all different languages, ways of greeting. But when we came to America, none of us could communicate with each other. We couldn't communicate. Because, you know, not all the time was a Yoruba person in Akwa Ibom, or Akwa Ibom person in Accra, or Accra person in Senegambia region. And so in this area, we came together under the umbrella of Gullah Geechee. And so within the Gullah Geechee language, we were able to devise what you might call pidgin today. We was able to devise a language of commonality, where we all can understand each other. But it was based on ideas, frame of references, phrases from each of our culture. That's why Gullah Geechee language is so diverse and it moves so fast, because it's encompassing the feeling of many different cultures. Vai, Ibibio, Temne, Mende, Mandingo, Malinke, Fanti, Ashanti, Yoruba, Igbo. You see, all of these different people encompass us. And so we have a big job to do. It's no time, it's going to be plenty of time for celebration, but in the meantime, we have to formulate and move forward straight. And it begins with the children. Because once the foundation is made for the children and we know that's who we're doing it for, then that becomes our motivation. Because we wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for our parents. I used to be a guy like that, a little, yeah. We wouldn't have anything without our elders, mothers, and fathers. And so we have to begin to work with the youth. Have them, bring them for field trips. Bring us to your community come to ours, and we continue to share.
So as you can see, it's been a real mission and growth pattern since the beginning. Since the beginning, the Gullah Geechee, you talk about the coming together of people, the way that the Yoruba tribe used to be, the Omukarajiri, the Omuluabi, where peoples from across the continent, across the world would join this beautiful project, which is what it was called, basically, Omukarajiri, Omuluabi. It's a project of people to fulfill destiny. And now here we have this happening in the United States. 1970 is when it officially happens, allegedly, but 1959, boom, it's there. It's recognized by the King of Kings in Ile Ife. How about that? That's beautiful. That's some good stuff. And let's just keep it moving.
And so we thank our yeyes, our mothers, we thank our fathers and our elders for coming today. And let it be known from here on out that the African Union in South Carolina is strong, vibrant, and have visited Oyotunji, paid tribute to the ancestors and to the crown. Because this is the village in North America where African culture began for us in North America. The drum wasn't played in South Carolina since 1741 when it was outlawed. It wasn't played again until 1970s when Oyotunji was founded. And so could you imagine the spirits who stay in these forests, heard the drum for the first time in almost 200 years and woke up? That's why Oyotunji is still here. The FBI didn't take it yet. You have to say, yeah, it's America. It's America. But notice, all movements of black people have some way or somehow been disbanded and broken up because no cultural foundation. This is cultural foundation.
How beautiful is that? Let's get right back to it, though.
Investigators say that 53-year-old Akiba Meredith stabbed a man there. Deputies were able to arrest Meredith after a short search. She is now charged with murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. The victim is 47-year-old Oba Adefumi II. Adefumi has been the Oba, or leader, of the African village in Sheldon since his father died in 2005. The Yoruba village was founded in the area in 1970, bringing the community and African religion to the Lowcountry. It is considered North America's oldest authentic African kingdom. Yoruba culture is preserved through historical documents, monthly festivals, decorative temples. It has long considered itself a separate entity from the United States and created in the same image of the villages in Nigeria. The leaders of the village would not go on camera tonight, telling News 3 they were in a period of mourning for their Oba, which means king.
As we contemplate everything that we've just experienced, I'll leave you with some words from our king, Adefumi II. And as always, peace. Kábíyèsí.
So we have to build them. We have to create them. Oyotunji is just but one. We have people who own different parts of cities and communities around the state, around the country. They should be informed on this knowledge. Because we have many black leaders, but it's difficult to be a black leader without knowing the culture of the people you're trying to lead. Issues here at Oyotunji going forward will be education for the youth. While there are no young children school age, presently they're going to arrive soon. And there are young children all around us who need some alternative method of schooling, some alternative method of learning values in life. And so as we know, African culture instills value in people. And so we're looking forward to participating and working together on initiatives such as education, industry, textile, language arts, and also cultural arts. Because as you know, if you have a culture, then you have an industry.
It is.
You have an industry.